Good morning. I pray that you and your family had a wonderful Easter. You know, one thing you see at Easter is the children with the Easter baskets. That's always an enjoyable thing, especially if you're privileged enough to see them receive the Easter basket in the first place, with their eyes wide and how excited they are. Easter baskets, especially the kind you buy at Walmart and so on, they have synthetic green grass, as you know, and then the most predominant thing in the Easter basket are the jelly beans. Now the kids, every one of the kids that I witnessed, they go through the jelly beans quickly, they toss them aside. They're not interested in jelly beans. That's the cheap staple that they put into the Easter basket. They want to get to the good stuff. Well, you probably did that as a child, and so did I. I didn't like jelly beans. Most of the world doesn't. They're in there because they're a variety of color, and let's be honest, they're cheap for the manufacturer. But there was one California company that decided to reinvent the jelly bean. They decided they would produce a premium, perfect jelly bean, unlike the world had ever seen before. This California company started to produce a product called Jelly Bellies. Now, Jelly Bellies became nationally known in the 1980s during the Ronald Reagan administration. As president, he would always have a bowl of Jelly Bellies on his desk. And at all the meetings, they would pass bowls of Jelly Bellies for people to enjoy. Foreign heads of state were offered Jelly Bellies. Jelly Bellies were known for perfection. But what did they do with the ones that weren't perfect? There were a lot of them. Every day, the machine would send out thousands of imperfect Jelly Bellies, and they would have to be tossed aside. Even though they tasted just as good as the premium perfect round Jelly Bellies, they were imperfect in design and in shape, in form. And so for 25 years, they tossed aside at great waste. And then some young person at the company got this idea to use these and to sell these. I want to show this to you. This is called belly flops. They are irregular jelly beans. They're just as good, and they are a hit. There are perfect things about you, and there are imperfect things about you. There are perfect things about me and imperfect things about me too. We have to use them all, my friend. We can't wait until we become completely perfect to move. I went to a store just before Easter because I wanted to buy something. I had the time, and there was a sign on the door, closed for inventory. I was shocked because this was midweek. I thought to myself, how can they close for inventory? I talked to a friend who worked there, and he said, not only do they close for inventory once, but they do it 4 times a year because they want to know what they've got, they want to know what they need, and they want to know where they're going. And this is something you and I should do too. We should literally close 4 times a year for inventory, to take an inventory of our lives. Well, I'm going to ask you that question right now. When was the last time you took an inventory of your life? Now, we all have a self-concept. This is who you think you are in your mind. It is your view of your abilities from your mind. It is your view of your appearance from your own mind, your worth, your desires, everything about you. Now, the problem with your self-concept and mine is it's from our own mind, and that means it is often very inaccurate. And then we have another concept, don't we? It's what I call our ideal concept. That is within our minds too. And it is the perception of the perfect you and the perfect me. And that gets us in trouble. It is what you think you would be if you had no flaws, if you had no problems. It is what you dream about becoming. But secretly inside, you know that you might not ever get there. Now, here is the problem. It's 1,000,000 miles between our self-concept and our ideal concept, and often we stop living until we believe we'll have our ideal. We tell ourselves, well, we can't live until. We can't be happy until we have our ideal concept. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, when I move into that house, or when I move to that area, when I get that car, when I lose 10 pounds, or 20, or 30. When? Your ideal concept and my ideal concept often is an excuse for not moving ahead. So, as you take inventory, I want you to become like Jelly Belly, the company. I want you to use your perfection, but also use your imperfection. You know, I often say at my seminars that people love you for your imperfection, your quirks, not for your perfection. Now, you have to decide right where you are to begin to live. Yes, of course, we always strive to become better. Yes, of course, we always strive to move towards our ideal concept. But the whole major word there is moving. We don't throw away part of ourselves. We use that and develop that and evolve that so that when we get to the finish line someday, way, way far away, we'll be a better human being. And we will have used all of ourselves and not stopped any of ourselves out of excuse. I wish you today a blessed day, the perfect part of you and the imperfect too.